Hi, welcome to Maggie Chats Books. Today I'm going to do my weekly wrap up. This week I finished 3 books. The first book was The Pearl by John Steinbeck. This was a reread for me. I read it in high school, though I found as I was reading through it again, I remembered very little of this book. I knew the premise was a very poor man who dives for oysters to find pearls, is the main character of the story. He and his girlfriend and their baby live in a grass hut kind of thing. He actually finds a pearl that was worth a lot of money, so that's how the story starts. And then you see all these events that happen to him, and it's only about 80 some pages long, so it moves very, very fast. But this pearl and everything that happens after he gets this pearl, it really destroys him and his family. It really reminded me of a book that we just recently read for our Read Around the World book club called Claire of the Sea Light. Some of these books, because these people are so poor, there seems to be no hope for them. And so it's not an uplifting book is what I'll say. Now, what is great about this book is the writing. You really are captured in this story. It's hard to put it down. It moves very quickly. The characters are very real, and you really are transported into this environment, and you really feel, without much explanation, that certain people will try to cheat this man and things like that. So for that, it was a great book to read. It was very devastating to me because I just did not remember the most of the book. But other than not being the most uplifting story, it was very well written, and I'm looking forward to reading more from John Steinbeck. The next book I finished was an audiobook. It was Ancillary Justice by Annalee. It is the first in the Ancillary Justice series. It was a difficult book to get into, I won't lie. I had to start it twice. There are concepts in this book that are really hard to get your mind around, or at least they were for me. It wasn't until about the 5th chapter that I really started getting into the book more, and I'm so glad that I stuck with it because it was very interesting. It is told by the point of view of an ancillary, which is a computer-like mainframe kind of computer who can control more than one entity. They can be a ship, they can be a body, which they implant computers into human bodies, and they become this computer ancillary. And you can be more than one entity, and you can think separately, but you're also thinking as a team. So it was really hard for me to get my mind around that. And then the genders in this book are, at one point they call everyone she and her, but then they go to another place and they recognize a person as male, or some societies recognize no gender. So you would think, who are they talking to? Because this was a she and now it's a him, and so it took you a while to realize that, and you see how much we depend on gender in communication too. So I thought that was really good. What it really showed me is what it means to be human, and also the question that's in a lot of science fiction novels: will computers be able to emulate humans to the point where they have emotions and they think on their own? So I love that concept, and I will continue with the series. I will say it was difficult to get into, but I'm hoping the next books will have that established and we won't have anything new, because I'm a little slow to pick that up, I think. And the next book that I finished was Autonomous, and it was a library book I've had out for quite a long time. It was also kind of like Ancillary Justice in that it really examined what it means to be human. In this world, the story is about a pirate who manufactures drugs because there are patents on most drugs that make it impossible for poor people to buy. So this woman manufactures drugs, gives them away, but she also manufactures drugs and sells them to other people so that she can afford to be a pirate and help other folks. So she's basically a good person. You have the large pharmaceutical companies that are trying to stop her from doing this, and you find out one of the drugs have gone really, really bad, and people are trying to hide that. And that's kind of what they tell you this book is about, but really the book is more about the robots and the humans, because in this world, humans and robots can be indentured. All robots, because it's expensive to make them, become indentured for so long, and some people forget to let them free and be autonomous, and then they are indentured for most of their robot lives. But humans can also be indentured as well, and there is a character in there which has been indentured since he was a very young boy. So the human aspect of this book, and human type actions of the robots also really were the main topic for this book. At least that's what I got out of it mostly. Because in this world, some of the robots are given human brains of people they really don't know about, and they don't know how much of their memories and their feelings they get. So you explore that with one robot, and then you also explore the human who was sold and mistreated and really doesn't have an identity other than what he has been formed to be. So I thought it was a good book. It wasn't what they explained it to be, about a kind of a mystery on how we're going to solve this drug issue. But I liked how it turned out anyway. So I did enjoy that book as well. So the two books kind of, to me, Ancillary Justice and Autonomous, had the same kind of underlining theme of what does it mean to be human, and what will robots or artificial intelligence eventually evolve to be, and will that be a good or bad thing? So those are the three books that I finished this week. I haven't even started another book. I had to finish up some projects, so I'm not sure what I will be reading this next week, but I'm sure it will be something that's not nonfiction, because I've read quite a bit of nonfiction this month, and I think I'm ready for something a little bit different. So that's all for now. Please let me know if you read any of these books and what you thought of them. I will talk to you later. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.